Hey, good morning, everybody. What's going on? How we doing today? Hey, look, I want to talk about bad units right quick. And here's the thing. Guess what? They don't exist. That's right. They don't exist. Because when you look at what people refer to as a bad unit, there's a couple things that they usually have in common. Because when you look at it, a unit can't be bad. It's an inanimate object. An inanimate object cannot be bad. You have people who are counterproductive. You have people who have bad relationships. You have people who are wanting to be lazy. You have people that don't want to be team players. You have people that do all of these things. So when you really look at it, if you take those people and you train them, or you convince them, or you influence them to change the way that they do business, all of a sudden the unit becomes good. The organization becomes good. The organization just starts what's the word, thriving, and it becomes this great thing, right? That's what happens when you encourage the people to do what it is that they need to do. But there's a lot of times you'll look at it like you'll have people that'll be in one organization and they're like, oh, that organization was horrible. And you switch those people out, some new people come and you talk to them, they're like, man, this organization was great. And I tell leaders this all the time. You hear people say, well, back in the day, we used to do this, that, and the third, or the dang on, you know, the units used to be so good. And I look at it from this standpoint. Back in the day, you were the young soldiers. You were the young soldiers. You weren't the ones that were in charge, were you? Who was doing all that great stuff? Those leaders, right? Who's doing all the cookouts? The leaders. Who's doing all the health and welfare checks? The leaders. So now you're the leader and you're saying things suck. You might need to look inward instead of looking outward. All right. It's not you. There's no such thing as a bad unit. It's not. You gotta you. My mom told me this when I was young. She said it's a poor fish that don't praise his pond. It's a poor fish that does not praise his own pond. You gotta you gotta take charge of the stuff that's around you. That you have the ability to influence and change. Be a part of the change. Don't be a part of the problem. Let's stop going around here talking about these organizations are bad. A unit is a guidon. That's what a unit is. It's a guidon. That's the only thing that stays with a unit the entire time is its guidon. It's colors. So how can a color be bad? And what happens with a guidon when a guidon is bad? We get a new one. We get a new one. Usually, when that commander leaves, they'll take that guidon, all right? They'll put it in a little case or frame or whatever, and they'll give it to that commander. But that guidon is the actual unit. The unit can't be bad. It can't. It's the people. The people need to change. I'm gonna give you this John C. Maxwell quote, and I'm gonna get off of here, right? So John C. Maxwell has this thing, and I say it all the time because I think it's a great thing when we're talking about organizations. He say people determine the potential of an organization. All right. Relationships determine the morale of an organization. The azimuth determines the direction of an organization. And the leader determines the level of success of an organization. All right? Let that sink in. You got to let that sink in. People determine what the organization is. Organizations aren't inherently bad. They're not. It's an inanimate object. It's like a car. If you take care of a car, it'll work. If you don't take care of it, it breaks down. And then people say, well, that's a bad car. All right? You got to look at it from that standpoint. Look inward. What are you doing to make your organization better? All right? Whether it's in uniform, out of uniform, what are you doing to make your organization better? And stop looking out here saying that everybody else the problem. Look inward. Look inward and see what it is that you can do. The only thing that stands between you and greatness is yourself. All right, look at here. You're important. You matter. Don't let anybody make you feel as if you're insignificant. If you do, get into the inbox. We got people here to help you out. Hey, look, the NCOPD Live team is here to help you. Let's Talk About It is here to help you. And the Women's Intentional Podcast is here to help you. Hey, and as I always say, life is a choice. I'm depending on you to choose well. I was here signing out. I'll be talking to you soon.